everyone, welcome to my astrology channel. Now today I will be talking about the astrology for the month of April. So I'll go through all the ingresses and the transits in the month of April and kind of just briefly tell you what the energies are like and kind of the significance of it, the meaning of it, basically. Now, astrology is a great tool to, kind of understand yourself, oneself, and just the energies or experiences that you can expect. Now, obviously, we have free will, and these energies can be experienced in different ways, many different ways. So there's no one interpretation, there's no one option. Now, obviously, I will be only talking about what each transit means in the month of April, as this is a monthly reading, and there are different ways to use it. Now, before I begin, I just want to thank everyone, all my subscribers, my followers, for your likes, for your comments and all that. I'm really grateful. Thank you very much. And to all the new subscribers, welcome to my channel. I hope you find value in my content. Now, let's begin with the month of April. Now, month of April is going to be, obviously, it's the Aries season, plus the Taurus season begins later on. So this is springtime. So it's going to be lots of new energy, kind of action mode energy, because there's a lot of influence on the sign of Aries in the month of April. Now, to begin with, on the 30th of March, the last day of March, Venus moves in the sign of Taurus. Okay, so it leaves Aries and moves in the sign of Taurus. So Venus is a planet of a relationship, is the planet of values, it's a planet of what we appreciate, is a planet of financial matters, our what we sustain ourselves with, what we find worthy, or how we see ourselves, our own worth and all that. So with Venus entering Taurus, now Taurus is a fixed sign, it's an earth sign, it's a fixed earth sign. So Venus in the sign of Taurus is very grounded, it's very grounded energy. So relationship that Venus and Taurus seeks is very grounded, consistent, long-term, steady. That's the kind of relationship it's expecting or wants. Now, it is a fixed sign, so there's a lot of stability to it. Venus in Taurus appreciates stability. And because it's a sign of finances, Taurus is to do with what we value, our assets, what we sustain ourselves with, our talents as well. It's a sign of our savings, finances, our income, salary stream, all that. And Venus is bringing that energy anyway. So the relationship that we seek with Venus in Taurus is stable relationship. Financially, materially stable relationship is crucial for this energy. So Venus in Taurus is seeking stable relationship, secure relationship, financially secure as well. More than emotionally secure, it is seeking materially secure a relationship. And now Taurus is the earth sign, it's the first earth sign. So here the energy, the way we go after relationship, the way what we appreciate is slow, steady. It's not in a rush. Taurus is not in a rush. Taurus energy is not in a rush. So when Venus comes in the sign of Taurus, our relationship style, it becomes slow and steady. It takes time to warm up to relationship energy, and it is very much wants to keep the finances as well. It is not happy to part with the finances. So that's why it is a very self-reliant energy. It wants to be stable within themselves and is seeking relationship which is materially secure as well. That is on the 30th of March. So the month of April will be affected with Venus in Taurus. Now on the 1st and 2nd of April, depending on which part of the world you live in, there is a full moon in the sign of Libra. Now, full moon in Libra is all about relationship, partnership and all that. And this is all kind of interactions. Full moon is about illumination, awareness, understanding, release, becoming aware of something. So here, relationships becomes the focal point. So the Libra full moon's main theme is relationship, partnership, fairness, justice, all the Libra thing, harmony, balance, and all that. So here we are seeking balance in relationship. Situations that are off balance need to be centered. So now Libra is a sign of relationship. It's a sign of the others in our life. So here we are finding a balance between our needs and other people's expectations. So that's the full moon energy in Libra. So the full moon in Libra will bring relationship clarity, commitment, decisions, what we want in relationship, what we desire in relationship, partnership and all that. That's where the clarity comes. That's where the understanding comes, the awareness comes. Now, on the 9th of April, Mars enters Aries, which is great energy because Mars is in its home sign. Aries is ruled by Mars and Mars is back in its home sign after leaving the sign of Pisces, where it's not at home. Mars in Pisces is very uncomfortable. In Aries, it feels at home. It can express its true self. Mars is energy. It's how we take action, how we move things forward. It's our assertion, aggression, drive, desire, and all that. And Aries is all about that. Aries is the sign of the self. It's about ourselves. So we are able to take action as per we want. This is very fiery energy, very impulsive energy, very reactive energy as well. So that's the flip side of Mars in Aries. It's great for taking action. It's great for moving things forward. It's great for motivation, initiative, and all that. But you need to be just mindful of the impulsivity and the reactivity that comes with this Mars in Aries. But Mars in Aries is always a good position. There's a lot of competitiveness. There's a lot of high ambition with this Mars in Aries. So here definitely there will be an urge to start projects or whatever you want to start, wherever your Aries sign sits in the chart. That area you'll feel really, energized to go forward. You'll be very enthusiastic to go forward in almost a selfish way. So because Aries is a self-oriented sign. So in a very selfish way, you would want to move things forward. Now, on the 14th of April, Mercury joins Mars in Aries. So Mercury enters Aries as well. This is great again because it's leaving Pisces and moving into Aries. In Pisces, Mercury can be a little bit confused, can lack boundaries, can lack clarity in thoughts and just the way it communicates. In Aries, it's very straightforward, direct to the point. There's no beating around the bush with Aries energy. And Mercury here with the communication planet coming in a Martian sign, your speech is very direct. Now, again, there can be impulsivity and reactivity and bluntness to the speech because it's not emotionally charged sign. Aries is not about emotions. Mercury is also not about emotions. So here the communication is very direct, very straight to the point. It's quick thinking, it's impulsive thinking. It's all about speaking the truth. This energy is say whatever you think. There's no analyzing. There's no pausing and reflecting on what is being spoken about. It's just says it. And that can lead to bluntness as well. So that's the slight flip side of Mercury in Aries. Now, on the 17th of April, there's a new moon in the sign of Aries, which is all about fresh start, new beginnings, new perspective, seeing things differently in a new light and all that. So this new moon in Aries is all about personal reinvention. You're setting new personal goals. You're focused on, a personal makeover, energetic makeover, identity change, how you project yourself and all that. You're willing to take the risk with this Aries energy as well. So it brings a lot of enthusiasm, direct energy, and a lot of confidence as well with this new moon in Aries. Now, on the 24th of April, Venus will enter the sign of Gemini. So Venus entered Taurus on the 30th of March. On the 24th of April, Venus enters Gemini. Now, Gemini is an air sign, it's a mutable air sign. Venus here is very light-hearted, very curious, very social, wants to communicate. Gemini is a Mercury-ruled sign. It's very intellectual. It likes intellectual stimulation. It likes to communicate. It likes to socialize and all that. So Venus, which is a relationship planet in Gemini, our relationship style becomes very social, very communicative, intellect-based. Mental stimulation is crucial for Geminis and Venus here. So our relationship style, something that stimulates us mentally, intellectually, is what we are attracted to. Now, on the 25th of April, Uranus is shifting in the sign of Gemini, or is re-entering in the sign of Gemini. It was in Gemini for a few months in the year 2025, but it's re-entering sign of Gemini on the 25th of April for next 7 years. So this is a long-term transit, and this is one of the crucial transit or shift of 2026. So it's a really important, very important shift. So with this shift, you can expect some sort of sudden, revolutionary, erratic, disruptive, electrifying, much needed or unexpected change wherever your Gemini sign sits. So this is going to definitely affect our communication style, because Gemini is about communication. It's going to really bring that sudden change or a different approach to what has been until now. So whichever way, wherever your Gemini sign sits, Uranus over there is going to really change everything. And this can be very sudden, because Uranus energy is sudden energy. It's very impersonal energy. It's not emotions based energy, Uranus. So in Gemini, it's all about communication. So we are communicating more. It's also about technology. It's about AI and all that. So there will be a lot of changes, or we will engage more with technology and AI as well going forward with this Uranus in Gemini entry for the next 7 years. Gemini also rules learning, education and all that. So do expect massive changes in education system, in the way we learn and all that, in the way we learn, our school system, our all sorts of educational establishment and all that. Definitely there will be massive shifts in the next 7 years, and it all starts with April 2026. This transit of Uranus and Gemini will push people from old patterns of thinking. So you're shifting your old mindset and thinking differently. That's what Gemini energy is. You're breaking old mental pattern, old communication pattern, old mindset, outlook, perspective, whatever that is. It's all shifting, and it's going to be sudden and great energy. It's very freeing energy. Uranus brings this freedom to the mind, which is Gemini. So these are the transits in the month of April. I will obviously go through all the 12 zodiac sign, and will kind of explain each transit, how it affects each of the 12 zodiac signs, the house matter, wherever it transits. So let's begin with the 12 zodiac signs. Hello Aries, welcome to your April's monthly astrology reading. Now Aries, in the month of April, there's a lot of focus on your sign. So the month of April is all about your identity, your personal direction. It's almost like a new personal cycle beginning for you, obviously, because Sun will be in the sign of Aries. So it's very much focused on your sense of self. Now, obviously, on the 30th of March, Venus entered Taurus, which is like just before the month of April began. So Venus entered your second house on the 30th of March. So let's begin with that. Now, Venus in Taurus in your second house, there's a lot of focus on money, on self-worth, on your inner glow and all that. There's a focus on financial stability with Venus in Taurus. Now, obviously, your financial situation may improve with this energy. There's a desire for quality over quantity, and there's a strong boost to confidence and your sense of self-worth, how you value yourself, your inner self. That really shifts with this Venus in Taurus energy in your second house. Now, on the 1st of April, or 1st or 2nd of April, depending on which part of the world you live in, there's a full moon in the sign of Libra. Now, that is your 7th house. So your house of partnership is illuminated right on the first day of April. So a full moon in Libra obviously lights up your partnership house. This means your relationship matters is activated, your partnership matters, all sorts of interaction, social interaction matters are in the limelight. So relationship truths will come to light. There's an awareness around relationship matters. This can lead to culmination, ending, release, or just understanding around commitments and how you see relationship and partnership, Aries. So this is quite interesting with the full moon occurring in your 7th house. Now, you may be making some sort of decision as well around partnership or a significant other in your life. Now, this can be spouse or can be any other significant person in your life, or it can be just general interaction with others. Something around that comes to an understanding, comes to an awareness, Aries. So here you're learning to balance your independence and other people's expectations, because Sun is in your sign in the first house, and opposite to it is the full moon in Libra. So there is a need for balance between your sense of self and how you connect with others. So with the seventh house full moon, you're redefining relationship and also strengthening commitments and all that. Now, on the 9th of April, Mars enters Aries in your sign. Now, Mars is your ruling planet, Aries, so it's in home sign. It's in your sign, it's in home sign. So this can bring huge motivation and massive energy boost to yourself, because it's activating your sense of self, your identity, your personal goals and ambition and all that. So this really pushes you forward in action mode even more, and you feel more courageous to take risks going forward, Aries. So there's a strong desire to lead, to compete, and to start something new, because first house is where everything starts. So your overall health, your appearance, how you project yourself, your life direction, life path, all that is really gets this boost with this Mars energy. Now, this can also be a very impulsive, reactive energy as well, but it does give confidence and physical energy more than usual. Now, on the 14th of April, Mercury enters Aries as well. So along with Mars, Mercury is also kind of activating your first house, your sense of self. Now here, your voice is your weapon. So how you speak can be very blunt, or can be very direct, whichever way you take it. So your speech, your communication style, how you connect is very unapologetic. You are not holding yourself back. You are very witty, you have strong opinions, and you may come across as argumentative, even though you may not be trying to. You're just putting your point across, but it may come across as defensive or reactive and all that. So just be mindful of that energy with Mars and Mercury together in your first house. This can lead to conflicts as well, or confrontation. So just be mindful of that energy. Now, obviously, decision making will also be quick. So do take your time when you're making decisions, especially long-term ones, because Mars and Mercury together in the first house definitely can make you prone to doing things impulsively, quickly, sometimes even without thinking. So do think over matters, serious matters, and all matters, to be honest. Also, it's because it's activating your first house, your health matters is also in focus. So just be mindful of any accidents or injuries, or even Mars in the first house can give headaches and migraines as well. So just be mindful of that energy. Do take care of your health and all that, Aries. Now, on the 17th of April, there's a new moon in Aries. So again, first house energy is fully activated. This is a time of personal reset. It's a most important new moon for you, Aries, because it's happening in your first house. So here there's an opportunity to reinvent your identity. You can start some personal projects, or you could also, do a makeover, change your lifestyle or appearance and all that. All that is there. So this is a good time to also set personal goals as well for the coming year. And definitely this will give you some sort of new beginning, opportunity to set new intentions and all that. Now, Sun enters Taurus on the 20th of April. So this brings focus to your second house of money and resources. So there's a focus shift from your first house energy, which is yourself, to the second house energy, which is income and financial stability. So you are focused on your resources and your money matters and all that, on more practical matters, on security and stability and all that. Now, on the 24th of April, Venus leaves the sign of Taurus and enters Gemini. So that activates your third house of communication and connection. So here, there's a strong desire to communicate. This can be in relationship matters, romantic communication, flirting, messaging, meeting, connecting with people, dating, all that, and or also just to be very harmonious in your speech as well. Venus in Gemini is very communicative. It's very much about, interacting with people and being more social. So this Venus is very social, very curious, very light-hearted, and all that. There may also be a desire to, connect through writing or social media. All that is definitely there with this Venus entering Gemini in your third house. Now, on the 25th of April, Uranus enters Gemini. This is a massive shift, one of the most important transits of 2026, because Uranus will be leaving the sign of Taurus and entering Gemini for the next 7 years. So this brings focus to your third house. There's a huge activation, major mental shift. Because it is a long-term transit, your communication style, connection style is going to go through massive change, unexpected change. This will bring a completely new way of thinking, communicating, and all that. There may be sudden insights, brilliant ideas. Maybe you will be more focused on using technology and your skill set and all that going forward. So definitely this is massive growth time, and your mind becomes faster, more curious, more innovative with this Uranus entering third house and in the sign of Gemini. So it's kind of a double Gemini activation, because third house is naturally ruled by Gemini. So Aries, overall, the month of April is a powerful personal rebirth time. There's focus on financial growth, on new ideas, and just really stepping into a newer, stronger version, more open-minded version of yourself, Aries. Thank you. Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your April 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now, Taurus, the month of April is kind of a transition month for you, because it's the month when Sun moves in the sign of Taurus. So your season begins. So from the 12th house energy, it shifts to the first house energy. So it definitely brings new energy, new confidence as the month progresses. Now, on the 30th of March, the last day of March, Venus enters Taurus in your sign and stays there until 24th of April. So the first 24 days, Venus is in your sign, Taurus. Now, Venus in your first house makes you very magnetic, very attractive, very confident within yourself. And this is a quiet confidence, because Taurus being an earth sign, you take things slow, you're more focused on stability and all that. So this confidence may seem quiet to others, but it's quite solid for you. Now, people will respond warmly to you, definitely. And there's a focus on self-love, self-nurturance. You may be beautifying yourself or upgrading your style, or just, more focused on aesthetics and harmony and balance within yourself, Taurus. Now, on the 1st of April, there's a full moon in the sign of Libra. So your 6th house matters is in focus with this full moon. Now, 6th house is a house of work, health, and routine. So full moon here kind of brings focus or illuminates the 6th house matter. So there's an awareness, understanding, even culmination to 6th house energy. Now, here there may be changes in your work environment. You may be changing a job. You may be just moving. So there is a change in working condition, or colleagues as well, or just your routine, your habits, what you do, your schedules on a daily basis. Because 6th house is not just a house of job, external job, it's a house of service. So service to yourself, to others, all sorts of. So full moon here brings a focus here. So there's some sort of reset in your daily life. So you may be adjusting your habits and all that, or, releasing old habits, bad habits, and embracing new ones. And this is around your health matters as well. So, there's maybe a new diet plan, the food you eat, exercise, and all that. There may be some sort of focus in on these matters. So something will come to a realization around your routine, especially the ones that are draining you, the ones that are unhealthy and all that. So definitely this is a good time to fix any unhealthy patterns, to organize your life, basically, Taurus. Now, on the 9th of April, Mars enters Aries. So that is your 12th house energy. Now, 12th house is a hidden house. It's a hidden subconscious house. It deals with the unconscious hidden patterns, hidden struggles, and all that. So here, Mars entering here can give you strong intuition, can make you spiritually courageous, or your courage may be hidden from others or sometimes even from you. So with Mars here, any suppressed anger may surface. So you need to be cautious of that. You may be fighting your inner struggles, inner demons, and all that, any past traumas. There's a need to release all those as well. Now, Mars in 12th house, because it's a hidden house, there can be secret conflicts as well, or there's a need for solitude or getting away or withdrawing from struggle, people, anything that's draining you. So that does not lead to conflict. So this Mars can also be used to, rest, enjoy solitude, away time, rest time, downtime, and all that. Because if you don't get that rest, it can lead to hidden frustration, resentment, and all that. So it's very important with Mars in your 12th house to release old anger, old emotional baggages, and all that, fears, and all that, things that are restricting you, self-sabotaging patterns and all that needs to be released with this Mars energy in your 12th house. Now, on the 14th of April, Mercury enters Aries. So Mercury joins Mars basically. It won't be close in degrees, but it still will be activating your 12th house, Mercury and Mars. So here there's a need to think before you speak, because again, with Mars energy, your speech can be, blunt. Even though it's a 12th house, still there can be a bluntness to it. Now, obviously, with the 12th house energy, there may be a lot of overthinking or private conversation, a secret conversation. This can also mean words spoken full of frustration or resentment or angry words and all that. So it's very important to, if you need to put down your thoughts before you express, put it down, journal it, reflect on it, because this can affect your mental health, your physical health, your overall well-being with this quiet resentment or hidden resentment, which may affect your well-being at the end of the day. So it's important to, rest, withdraw from any conflict if there are any, reflect on it, introspect, and find a solution going forward. Now, on the 17th of April, there's a new moon in Aries, again in your 12th house. So opportunity for deep healing here with the 12th house energy, the moon energy there, which is a very sensitive position. So new moon brings this new beginning, a reset to emotional healing. This is a good time to let go of the past and bring in new energy, opportunity for self-reflection, spiritual growth, and all that. And just prepare for the big transition, personal transformation when Sun moves in your house, in your first house. And soon Mars, Mercury will be entering your sign, the first house. So that would be a great time to really, present yourself, project yourself in the best way possible. But this is a good time with the new moon in the 12th house to reflect and release anything that's unhealthy within yourself, Taurus. Now, on the 20th of April, Sun enters your sign. So your first house is activated, your identity, your self-expression, all that is in focus here. You will feel more confident when Sun enters your sign and more visible to others as well, because all this 12th house energy may be, you may be enjoying retreat and withdrawal and solitude more, but with the Sun entering your first house, you want to come out, you want to express and present yourself. So you definitely will be more visible to others. You're ready to take action on your personal goals as well. So this is a new cycle for you, Taurus, going forward with Sun in your first house. Now, Venus enters Gemini on the 24th of April, which activates your second house. Now, second house is a house of money, possessions, self-worth, and all that. So here you're earning through communication, because Gemini is all about communication. Venus entering here, your money matters, is connected to communication. So this is a good time to, maybe learn a new skill. Gemini also is education, learning, and all that. So here you could be learning something new, developing your skills or your talents. Second house is a house of talents to earn more. So here there can be financial opportunity through connection, through networking, and all that, Taurus. Now, on the 25th of April, Uranus will be entering Gemini. in your second house. Now, this is a massive shift. This is one of the main transits of 2026, and this is a 7-year transit. So for 7 years, Uranus will be in your second house. Now, Uranus was in your first house, in your sign, for the last 7 years. So there was lots of transformation, sudden changes within your sense of self, your identity, your life direction, your overall, just complete the last 7 years, your whole life has shifted, Taurus. Now, this massive shift will be in your second house of money matters, your value system, and all that. And this is a 7-year transit. So it's a long-term transit. So here the possible changes you can expect will be in the way you earn, your income stream, or the way you see your self-worth, your worthiness, how you sustain yourself, all that. There can be some sort of technology involved in the way you earn going forward. And it's good to use these energy to earn money. You be open to technology and new opportunities, new financial opportunities going forward. So your relationship with money, your self-worth, all that will really evolve in the next 7 years. So overall, Taurus, the month of April is all about releasing the past energies and embracing or stepping into a more stronger, more confident version of you. Thank you. Hello, Geminis. Welcome to your April 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now, Geminis, the month of April is quite crucial for you because this is the month when Uranus moves in your sign, in the sign of Gemini. So this month is definitely, I would say, kind of one of the most important months for you in the year. This month will bring a long-term shift in your identity, life direction, and mindset. And because Uranus will be in your sign for next 7 years, you can expect surprises, new ideas, and exciting opportunities where your sense of self, your identity is concerned. So definitely a massive month for you, Geminis. Now, the month of April begins with Venus energy in the sign of Taurus because Venus ingresses in the sign of Taurus on the 30th of March, which is the last day of the month of March. So first 24 days of April, Venus is in Taurus in your 12th house. Now, 12th house is a very hidden energy. It's the house of the subconscious, the unconscious. It's the hidden matters. It's the hidden private matters. So with Venus energy, the planet of relationship and values in your 12th house, the way you show appreciation or attraction or affection can be a bit private, can be a little bit secretive. Here, there's an opportunity to heal old relationship wounds as well, and also attract healing love connections with this 12th house energy, Geminis. Now, on the 1st of April, there is a full moon in the sign of Libra, which is your 5th house. Now, 5th house is the house of romance, creativity, and joy. So these are the main theme for you. Now, full moon brings illumination, understanding, awareness, clarity, culmination, and all that. So here there can be some sort of emotional clarity around your relationship matters, your children, your creative expression, passion projects, and all that. So a creative project may reach a milestone during this time with this full moon Libra in your 5th house. Now, 5th house is a house of hobbies and children and just playful activities. So here there's an opportunity to spend more time doing these things as well. So with this full moon in your 5th house, Geminis, you may feel inspired to express yourself more freely. Now, on the 9th of April, Mars moves in the sign of Aries. Aries is your 11th house. So your 11th house energy is activated with this Mars energy. Now, 11th house is all about your social circle, your group circle, your collaborative effort, your teamwork, your friendship groups, your community. It's also the house of your aspirations, your hopes and wishes, your long-term vision and all that. So Mars here really energizes your 11th house matter. It brings momentum to your aspirations and all that. Here you may connect with like-minded people, your soul tribe, connections that are growth-oriented, Gemini. So here Mars in 11th house brings this motivation to pursue these long-term dreams, long-term aspirations long-term aspirations and all that. So your social life definitely will be very active, very motivating, very exciting. Now, Gemini's Mars here can also bring conflicts and confrontation within a social circle, within friend circle. So just be mindful of this energy, because this can be impulsive and reactive energy. Now, on the 14th of April, Mercury joins in the sign of Aries. So Mars is already there. Mercury joins Aries. So there's a Mars and Mercury energy, combined energy in your 11th house. Now, Mercury in the 11th house is lots of communication around social situation. This is about leading with ideas. It's about conversations, communications, discussions, and all that around your vision, around your future ideas, around your aspirations. You may be discussing these with people you're surrounded with. This could also bring some sort of social media engagement as well. If you are active on social media, or if you have a podcast, this is a great time to share your ideas with audience and all that. So definitely Mars Mercury together in the month of April in your 11th house is really great energy. It's really a great energy. It really gives momentum to your future plans. Now, on the 17th of April, there's a new moon occurring in the sign of Aries, again in your 11th house. This again brings focus to your future aspiration, your vision, your community, your social group, your goals, and all that. So here, this is a great opportunity to set long-term goals, connect with people or network who are useful for your long-term growth as well. You may be launching some collaborative projects, or you may be joining new team or new people who will help you grow as well. So definitely this new moon here, it's a great time to set new intentions around new dreams, future plans, and just what you want to do going forward, Geminis. Now, on the 20th of April, Sun enters Taurus, which is your 12th house, which is a time of rest and reflection. So after the 11th house energy of Aries, Sun enters your 12th house. So here, there may be a need to slow down a little bit, maybe rest, introspect. This is a time of emotional processing and personal healing as well. So definitely, as you connect with people and, your community and friends and connections and all that, as Sun enters on the 20th of April, you are giving time to yourself as well. This is a time of quiet preparation. You are withdrawing and preparing yourself, because after Taurus comes Gemini. So that will be your season, which is in the month of May. So this is a great time to reflect and really plan going forward. Now, on the 24th of April, Venus enters Gemini, which is your first house. So in your sign, on the 24th of April. Now, Venus in the first house affects your overall appearance, your well-being, your health, and all that, just your life direction, how you project yourself, how you present yourself, and all that. So this can give you a very charming, very witty, very affectionate kind of approach to connecting with others. You feel more social with this Venus in the first house energy. And this is also a time when you could refresh your look or upgrade your look or your style, how you, present yourself, how you speak, how you express yourself. First house is overall. It's not just the appearance. It's not just the outward appearance. It's also from within. Your inner self is glowing with this Venus in the first house, Geminis. Now, on the 25th of April, one of the big transits of the year 2026 occurs, which is Uranus re-entering the sign of Gemini, which is going to affect your first house. Now, Uranus has been moving through the sign of Taurus for the last 7 to 8 years. So last 7 to 8 years, Gemini has been a time of deep psychological breakthroughs. You probably were learning to let go of subconscious fears, shame, guilt, trauma, anything that's holding you back, or your tendency to hold yourself back, because 12th house is a house of self-sabotage, self-undoing as well. So here you could be holding yourself back due to these subconscious fears, matters that may not be real, but it may have felt real for you. So you may have been processing all that endings over the last 7 to 8 years. These years were a time of powerful internal transformation. Now, on the 25th of April, Uranus enters your first house. This is entirely different energy from the last 7 to 8 years, Geminis. So in your first house, it's going to affect your identity. It's going to affect your life path, your mindset, just your overall energy. So Uranus entering your first house of self for the next 7 years, you will be reinventing yourself, your lifestyle, your entire existence. Everything will change, and this change may occur suddenly. It's not a slow process. Wherever Uranus goes, it brings an electrifying sudden change. So this can bring a major change to your image, to your environment, to yourself, your likes, dislikes, just your general life orientation shifts with this Uranus entering your first house. This will make you more independent, more unconventional, because Uranus is the nonconformist. You don't want to conform anymore. You are breaking free from an old version of yourself. So you're really embracing this breakthrough, inner breakthrough going forward. This is a time of major life changes, Geminis. So, Geminis, in the month of April, overall, a new life chapter begins. This chapter will encourage more freedom, more innovation, and more authenticity. So you will see a completely different version of yourself over the next few years, and all that stuff in the month of April 2026, Geminis. Thank you. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your April 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now, Cancer, the month of April 2026 brings important changes, important developments for you. And this is around your reputation, your career, your public image, your long-term life direction, around your public responsibility, your personal, emotional needs. You will gain clarity in all these matters. Now, the month of April starts with the Venus and Taurus energy. Now, Venus enters Taurus on the 30th of March, so the last day of the month of March. But the first 24 days of April, Venus is in the sign of Taurus, so it's activating your 11th house, Cancer. Now, Venus in 11th house brings a supportive and like-minded social circle. You connect with people who are helpful, useful. You can collaborate with people, your community, your social situation. They are helpful during this time. And you're connecting with people who can support your long-term dreams. And these long-term dreams also feel attainable due to these collaborations and all that. Now, 11th house is also the house of hopes and wishes, vision, long-term vision and all that. It's a house of collaborative projects. So here, there could be some sort of collaborative humanitarian project that you may be involved in, or if you're already involved in, this could give some positive outcome during this transit. Now, on the 1st of April, there's a full moon in the sign of Libra that activates your 4th house. Now, 4th house is a house of your family matters, your home matters, your domestic matters. It's a house of your emotional foundation, your private life. It's a house of your stability and security and all that. So full moon occurring here brings this focus to your foundation. Now, full moon is all about illumination, awareness. It's about clarity and understanding. It's about culmination, endings, and all that as well. So here there can be some sort of family discussion or decision that is made with this full moon in Libra in your 4th house. Here, your living situation could change, or something around your family situation can shift, or you can gain clarity around these matters. You will also gain some emotional clarity around your stability, security, and what home means to you, Cancer. So this full moon in your 4th house brings focus to what is a supportive environment and what truly supports your well-being, Cancer. Now, on the 9th of April, Mars moves in the sign of Aries, which activates your 10th house of your career, your public life, your reputation, your vocation, your ambition, your long-term goals, your profession, business, and all that. So Mars here energizes this 10th house matter. Here it can bring ambition, determination, strong leadership qualities and opportunities as well. Here, your visibility is increased. There may be a lot of responsibility around work as well. You may be pushed to pursue your goals more aggressively with this Mars in the 10th house. Now, Mars in the 10th house can also bring some sort of conflict with authority figure as well, because 10th house is also the house of authority figures in our life. So there can be some sort of conflict with the authority figure as well. So just be mindful of that energy. Otherwise, the Mars in 10th house definitely intensifies your career drive. Now, on the 14th of April, Mercury enters Aries. So Mars is already there. Mercury joins Mars in the 10th house in the sign of Aries. So this brings your communication in focus, and it brings this Aries energy to your communication style. So your voice affects your status. So what you're saying, how you're communicating is going to affect your professional life, your career, your business, your job. It's going to affect your public image, your reputation, and all that. So this can motivate you to speak boldly at work and make maybe career announcements, or be more verbal with what you want to achieve in terms of ambition and all that. And also there can be verbal clashes with authority figure. As I mentioned already, that Mars in the 10th house brings that conflict. So with Mercury entering that, it can bring verbal conflict. So just be mindful of that. Because your public reputation is shaped by your words in the month of April, Cancer. Now, on the 17th of April, there's a new moon in the sign of Aries in your 10th house. So this brings new energy again to your 10th house matter, your professional matters, your public image, and all that. So this can trigger a new beginning where your career matters are concerned, your image, your public image is concerned. So this is a great time to start a new career path, a new profession, job, business, whatever you want to do. This is a great time to launch a project or a business idea, or take up a leadership role, maybe a promotion and all that. So with all this Aries 10th house energy, you're definitely ready to step into a bigger public role going forward, Cancer. Now, on the 20th of April, Sun enters Taurus, which is your 11th house of friendship, communities, future goals, and all that. So Sun illuminates how you connect with your collaborative effort, your peers, your team, your community, your social your social circle, friend circle, and just people around you, basically. So here you could be networking and meeting influential people, or you could be joining groups or collaborative projects, or you could just be strengthening your friendship during this time. So your social circle will play an important role in your future plans during this time. Now, on the 24th of April, Venus enters Gemini, which is your 12th house. So your 12th house energies are activated with this Venus entering this house. So here there can be some sort of reflection on what your values are, your relationship, your connections, and all that. This is a time of healing emotional patterns as well, in terms of relationship, how you connect with people, and also what you value, your finances as well, because Venus rules finances. So here there is some sort of opportunity to heal emotional patterns around your financial matters and relationship matters. Now, on the 24th of April, one of the main transits of the year 2026 occurs, which is Uranus entering the sign of Gemini, which activates again your 12th house. Now, 12th house is the house of your subconscious. It's the house of your inner world. It's a house of solitude, withdrawal, hidden matters, can be hidden struggles, and also self-undoing patterns as well. Subconscious patterns, emotional baggage that are not good for you. So here, Uranus entering your 12th house will bring sudden breakthrough in your psychological self. So this is a time when you will be letting go of subconscious fear. Now, this is a very long-term transit. It's a 7-year transit. So over the next 7 years, you are learning to release these subconscious fear and really step into your own when Uranus enters your sign in the sign of Cancer in 7 years' time. But these 7 years are a time of deep psychological breakthroughs, letting go of hidden fears, hidden trauma, hidden shame, guilt, and all that. Your intuition will be strong during this time, and there will be unexpected endings that will free you from the past and will lead to a powerful internal transformation going forward, Cancer. So, overall, Cancer, the month of April 2026 is all about balancing your emotional foundation with these bold career ambitions that you have, and also finding a balance between your public path in terms of life path, the outward image, and your personal security. So you're finding a balance between your inner world and outer world during this time, Cancer. Thank you. Hello, Leos. Welcome to your April 2026 astrology reading. Now, Leos, the month of April for you is all about expansion. It's about exploration. It's about inner courage. It's about stepping outside your comfort zone and really pursuing a bigger vision, Leos. Now, the energy of the month of April begins with Venus in the sign of Taurus. Now, Venus enters the sign of Taurus on 30th of March. So it's the last day of March, but the first 24 days of April, Venus will be transiting through the sign of Taurus. Now, Taurus is your 10th house, Leos, and 10th house is the house of your career, professional matters, business matters. It's the house of your ambition, your public image, your reputation, authority figure, visibility, basically. So, with Venus moving through your 10th house, here your charm, the way you present yourself, the way you project yourself, really helps your career matters, really helps your public image. So this is a good time to really show your face, to be present in person where your professional matters are concerned. This is not the time to hide away from limelight. This is the time to very much be in the limelight and present yourself in the best way possible. Now, career benefits can come through likability as well, because Venus is a harmonious energy and Taurus is ruled by Venus. So Venus is at home in the sign of Taurus. So here your likability increases, your reputation, your public image, the way you come across is very harmonious, very positive, very beautiful. This is the time that you can also gain favor from authority figures. So this is a good time to really project yourself in the best way possible for the purpose of advancing your career, your professional matters, your business matters, and all that, Leos. Now, on the 1st of April, there is a full moon in the sign of Libra. Now, Libra is your third house, so third house matters are illuminated. Now, full moon is a time of culmination, it's a time of release, awareness, clarity, understanding. So, with the full moon activating your third house of communication, of learning, of connection, of daily interactions, and all that, this is a good time to share ideas. This is a good time to discuss or connect with people as well. Some sort of conversation or communication will come through that will give you clarity, because third house is a house of communication. So some sort of understanding around communication, or even your network, your connections and all that, something will come through that will help you make decisions going forward. Now, third house is also the house of learning. So here there could be some sort of decisions related to education or learning as well. Now, full moon here will also bring clarity to any miscommunication or misunderstanding in your daily environment, in your daily interactions, your daily environment and all that with your relatives, siblings and all that. So the full moon here will definitely make you also express yourself freely, because it is a full moon. So here you are expressing your whatever your thoughts are. You're not holding back and all that. So whatever you have to say, Leos, this is a good time to express yourself. Now, on the 9th of April, Mars enters the sign of Aries. Now, Aries is your 9th house, Leos. So your 9th house matter gets a boost with this Mars energy. Now, Mars is at home in Aries. So the energy is quite positive, quite harmonious, quite aligned with the Aries energy. So in your 9th house, which is the house of exploration, higher learning, travel, belief systems, your faith, your perception, your worldview, also connecting with other cultures and all that. So here Mars can bring a desire for travel or explore cultures. Now, if it's not a physical travel, it could also be a mental travel. Now, you will have strong motivation to expand your knowledge, explore, expand, and all that. This is very much about mental pursuits as well. But ninth house energy is more about lived experience. So you will definitely be interested in traveling and moving around with this energy. Now, Mars here will also give you confidence in pursuing these big life goals because ninth house is ruled by Jupiter. It's a natural Sagittarius house. So there's a lot of big picture energy here. So Mars here will definitely help you pursue these big life goals going forward. Mars here really brings this excitement about these new possibilities as well. Now, on the 14th of April, Mercury enters Aries. So Mars is already there. Now, Mercury joins it. So, Mercury in your ninth house is now Mercury in the ninth house in the sign of Aries will definitely help you express your truth more clearly, more enthusiastically, more energetically, and all that. Because Aries Mercury is very much a fiery Mercury. So your communication is very fiery. You have strong opinions. You're open to debates about your beliefs or your perception or your principles, values, whatever that might be. You're willing to fight for the truth. And this is more of a verbal fight, a verbal exchange. So definitely here, your decision making is also quick. And you are very quick-witted as well with Mercury in Aries in the ninth house. Now, obviously, if you want to study something or travel, this Mercury will help you make those decisions as well to go for these energies as well. Now, Leos, on the 17th of April, there's a new moon in the sign of Aries. So, new moon occurring in your ninth house in the sign of Aries. This is all about new life direction. This is new beginning energy. This is about setting new intentions, sowing new seeds. So new moon in the ninth house, definitely you could start something new in terms of studying, higher learning, traveling, and all that. You could make plans to relocate as well. And this is not a permanent settlement kind of relocation. This could be just, you're going away for an extended period of time, not permanently, because that's a 12th house energy. So with ninth house new moon, you could be traveling, relocating, or moving around more, maybe traveling abroad. Here you will also be exploring spiritual and philosophical interests because ninth house is the house of philosophy. So you are exploring those as well. So in all, new moon in the ninth house is really broadening your worldview, opening a new chapter around worldview, your perceptions, your viewpoint, and all that. Now, Leos, on the 20th of April, Sun enters Taurus. That is your 10th house again. So the focus is back on your 10th house of career and reputation and image and business matters, professional matters, and all that. So here the focus is on work, on leadership, on new opportunities around career and business matters and your public image, reputation, and all that. And there's a desire to build long-term professional stability, Leos. So here there will be increased visibility and can also bring favors from authority figure as well. Now on the 24th of April, Venus enters in the sign of Gemini. Now, Gemini is your 11th house, which is a house of your social circle, your friend circle, your collaborative effort, your teamwork. It's also the house of your aspirations, your hopes and wishes, your long-term vision, long-term plans and goals and all that. So Venus in here will help you connect through friends. So you're connecting through friends, through social groups, through collaborations, networking and all that. Here you may meet someone through friends or through community or through networking as well. Now, the person you meet could be unconventional, unusual, very different from you as well, because that's the Aquarius energy, which brings the unique factor. So here you can find love through friendship, through your social circle. Now, on the 25th of April, Uranus enters Gemini. Now, this is a long-term transit. It's a 7-year transit starting in the month of April. Uranus is re-entering Gemini. It was in the sign of Gemini in 2025 for a few months. But in April 2026, Uranus enters Gemini. That activates your 11th house of friendship, of future goals, and all that. So this is again several years of activation. Now, Uranus is a very electrifying, unexpected, sudden energy, unique energy, brings innovation, can bring disruption as well, and all that. So Uranus here, so Uranus in the 11th house will possibly bring long-term changes around your social group, your social situation, your collaborative efforts. So you could be meeting unusual or influential people. You could be joining communities that are quite different from what you have experienced before. There could be sudden shift in your long-term goals as well, you know, your long-term vision, your hopes and wishes and all that. So the next 7 years, Leos, definitely will expand your social circle, and this can happen in a very exciting and unexpected ways. So overall, Leos, the month of April 2026, it's all about expansion. It's about bigger career opportunities. It's about expanding your worldview, your perception, your viewpoint. It's about dreaming big and connecting with people, like-minded people who will support you in your ambitions going forward. Thank you. Hello, Virgos. Welcome to your April 2026 astrology reading. Now, Virgos, the month of April 2026 is a deeply transformative month for you. There's a focus on emotion, shared resources, and making these decisions or life-changing decisions. Now, this month, you will be also shedding old version of yourself and stepping into a more stronger and more wiser version of yourself going forward. Now, Virgos, the month of April begins with the Venus energy in the sign of Taurus. Though it moves in the sign of Taurus on March 30th, the first 24 days of the month of April, Venus is in the sign of Taurus and in your ninth house. So with Venus energy in the ninth house, there's a love of travel, learning, and culture during this time. Now, ninth house is the house of belief system, of your perception, your viewpoint, worldviews, higher learning, traveling, exploration, expansion, and all that. So Venus here appreciates all these energies. So you will definitely be very interested in, learning, traveling, exploring, expanding, and all that. Now, Venus is also planet of relationship. So there can be some romantic connections abroad as well, or you could be connecting with somebody from a different culture, different background, and all that. Now, there's a focus on faith as well, on your belief system as well. Venus here really makes you appreciate different viewpoints, worldviews, and all that. And it also brings a lot of optimism and growth with Venus energy in the ninth house. Now, on the 1st of April, there's a full moon in the sign of Libra, which is your second house. So, full moon will activate your second house of money, resources, and self-worth. Now, full moon is a time of culmination, of endings, of realization, clarity, awareness, understanding, and all that. So here you may be making some sort of financial decisions, or you may gain some sort of realization around your financial situation and all that. Now, there can be a change in income or spending habits as well. This can mean income going up or down, or you may be feeling the effect of the income more this month. You could be changing job, or you could be adding a new stream of income. So financial matters, especially the self-earned finances, really is in focus in the month of April, especially as the month starts, because there's a full moon in Libra, because there's a full moon in your second house. So your finances and your spending habits is definitely in focus. So just be mindful of how you're spending money. Now, this is also a time when you recognize your true worth and your talents as well, because second house is the house of talent. So you could be using your talents to make money going forward. So definitely with full moon in Libra occurring in your second house, you feel motivated to build a stronger financial stability going forward, Virgos. Now, on the 9th of April, Mars enters Aries, and that is your 8th house. Now, 8th house is the house of shared resources. It's a house of shared values, It's a house of transformation. It's a house of intimacy and all that. So Mars here can bring passionate emotional experiences, deep connections. You are very enthusiastic about these as well. Now, Mars in the eighth house can also bring power struggles around financial matters, around your value system and all that. So there can be deep psychological insights as well around these matters, especially where your resources, finances, and your spouse's resources as well, because eighth house is a house of other people's resources. So here, other people's resources in your life also takes center stage. So there can be some power dynamic or power struggle around financial situation. So there will be focus on debts, on investments, on, the cash flow and all that. Now, obviously, eighth house is also the house of transformation and regeneration. So Mars here will also empower you to find solution around your financial matters. Now, Virgos, on the 14th of April, Mercury enters Aries, again in your eighth house. Now, Mercury is your decision making, how you make decision, how you communicate, how you, connect and all that. In the eighth house, your words are very sharp. Your thinking is very sharp. You're very strategic in your thinking with Mercury in the eighth house. You may be engaging in financial discussions during this time and, finding solution around your financial matters, especially the shared finances, other people's finances and all that. So there may be a need for a more strategic approach around finances during this time. Now, on the 17th of April, there's a new moon occurring in Aries. That's again eighth house. So eighth house is very much activated in the month of April because there's Mars there, there's Mercury, as well as a new moon occurring, and full moon obviously on the 1st of April, which opposes the eighth house. So there's a lot of energy around money matters in the month of April. Now, with the new moon in Aries in your eighth house, again, this is a powerful time to bring these changes around shared resources and shared values and all that. So here, if there are any emotional entanglement or financial entanglement, this is the time to release emotional baggage in order to embrace new beginnings or see things in a new perspective, in order to, set new intentions around your finances. So here, your relationship will transform as well. And there would be a need for financial restructuring, maybe having a financial plan, a budget plan, whatever that might be. But definitely with the intense energies of Mars, Mercury, and in the eighth house, this is definitely a phase of personal empowerment, Virgos. Now, on the 20th of April, Sun enters the sign of Taurus, which is your ninth house. The ninth house is a house of travel, of knowledge, of growth, of, of higher learning. It's the house of your belief system, your values and all that, your perception, your worldview and all that. So Sun entering here brings focus to learning something new, new skills or a study program, or you may be interested in traveling or exploring new cultures, or just connecting with people with different viewpoints and all that. So definitely you're open to expanding and exploring worldviews, and you feel very inspired about long-term goals and a future vision and all that. Now, on the 24th of April, Venus enters sign of Gemini, which is your 10th house. So there's a focus on your professional matters, on your career matters, and all that here. Now, Venus in the 10th house brings some sort of charm to your public image, to your reputation. This can also bring appreciation or interest in your career matters, professional matters, business matters, and all that. So this is a very good time to network, and networking will benefit your career during this time because Gemini is about being socially active, and Venus brings that likability factor. So definitely networking can benefit your career, your business, profession, whatever that is. And your public image can also be very attractive during this time. So this is a good time to start something on social media and create content that you can share with others on social media and all that. So definitely networking, socializing, sharing ideas, communicating definitely helps your professional matters. Now, Virgos, on the 25th of April, Uranus enters the sign of Gemini, again in your 10th house. Uranus will be in your 10th house in the sign of Gemini for the next 7 years. So this is a major shift. This is one of the This is one of the major transits of 2026. And in the month of April, it's re-entering your 10th house of career and reputation. Now, this means you will experience long-term changes, unexpected changes, sudden changes, exciting changes around your career matters. This can also feel disruptive in the beginning because it can happen suddenly. So you can definitely, have new career opportunities, unconventional career opportunities, unconventional career path, and all that. Now, all this is happening in the sign of Gemini. So there may be a social media engagement or sharing ideas and all that where your career matters are concerned or professional matters are concerned. So definitely for the next 7 years, this is a really good time to, engage in your professional matter in unexpected way. Be open to new ideas as well. Don't restrict yourself. Next 7 years is definitely time of career revolution, and really your professional matters, and you will really gain greater independence where your professional matters are concerned with this Uranus energy in your 10th house. So Virgos, overall, the month of April 2026 brings deep personal transformation that will involve, career breakthroughs, releasing old limitations, pursuing bigger ambitions, managing your finances, and really empowering yourself to bigger and better things going forward, Virgos. Thank you. Hello, Libras. Welcome to your April 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now, Libras, the month of April 2026 is very much relationship focused for you. It also helps you engage with your life direction, where you want to go, where you want to be in future, your future vision and all that. So partnership, commitments, your personal identity, all these come into the spotlight in the month of April. So the focus is on finding a balance between your own needs and those of others. All this can lead to some sort of important decision in the month of April, Libras. Now, the month of April begins with the Venus energy, the sign of Taurus. Now, Venus enters Taurus on the 30th of March, so the last day of March. But the first 24 days of the month of April, Venus will be in the sign of Taurus. Now, Taurus is your 8th house, Libras. So 8th house energy is activated. Now, 8th house is a house of shared values, shared resources. It's a house of intimacy, transformation, regeneration, and all that. So Venus here in the 8th house can bring deeper connections. It can bring shared financial benefits, also emotional security and security around intimacy as well going forward. So Venus here in the 8th house definitely brings a desire for deep emotional conversations, connections, relationship, financial discussions with partner and all that. Now, on the 1st of April, there's a full moon in your sign, in the sign of Libra. So your first house matters are activated. Now, first house is the house of identity, of self-expression, of self, of your personality, appearance. It's the house of your overall health and life path and all that. So full moon occurring here brings some sort of clarity, ending, culmination, understanding, awareness around your sense of self, around your identity. So this can bring emotional clarity about who you're becoming, Libras. Here, there's a desire to express your authentic self if you're not already doing that. And there may be some sort of changes in appearance, in confidence, in your personal goals, personal life direction and all that. So you may feel more visible and more emotionally aware with this full moon in your first house. Now on the 9th of April, Mars enters Aries. Now Aries is your 7th house, Libras. So Mars is activating your house of partnership, relationship, commitments. It's the house of social interactions, business partnership, all that. Now, Mars is at home in Aries. So Mars here brings that energy, that drive, that motivation to move things forward. Now, Mars here in your 7th house can bring passion or intensity in romantic relationship. This can also bring confrontations that clears the air. So things become clearer as a result of some fiery discussions. Now, here, Mars will definitely motivate you to engage in relationship, to engage in connections, that something that you're passionate about, something that you desire, Libras. Now, on the 14th of April, Mercury enters Aries, which is your seventh house. So Mars is already in your seventh house. Now Mercury joins it. So together it's activating your, again, relationship house. So here there's a need to speak clearly. And Aries energy can make Mercury quite fiery, very direct in conversation, very honest in conversation. You are opinionated, definitely, with your speech, especially where relationship and partnerships are concerned. There can be heated discussion, again, as I said, with Mars in there. Also, this can lead to debates or arguments and all that as well. So just be mindful of that. Honest exchanges definitely is a Mercury in Aries theme, definitely, and this will happen where relationship and partnership or just social interactions are concerned. And you will also be attracted to partners who are mentally stimulating as well, because Mercury in Aries brings this thrill-seeking energy, fiery energy where communication and conversations are concerned. So you seek partners that really stimulates you mentally as well. Now, on the 17th of April, there's a new moon in the sign of Aries, again, your seventh house. So on the 17th of April, you can expect some sort of new beginning where relationship and partnership are concerned. Now, new moon is all about setting new intentions, about sowing new seeds, fresh start and all that. So in the seventh house, this can lead to a new relationship or renewing commitments or redefining commitments. Here you can also enter into a new contract or new agreement, business matters, whatever that might be. You can expect some sort of new beginning in partnership during this time and going forward, because new moon energy unfolds over, several weeks after the new moon has occurred. So definitely with the new moon energy in your seventh house, you can expect a new chapter in your relationship to start. Now, on the 20th of April, Sun enters in the sign of Taurus. Now, Taurus is your eighth house. Now, eighth house is the house of intimacy, the house of transformation, shared resources, deeper connections and all that. Now, Venus is already in the sign of Taurus. With Sun entering there, there's more focus on the eighth house matter. So emotional bonding, deeper connection takes center stage. There's focus on financial partnership. There's a focus on psychological growth and healing as well, because eighth house is a psychological house. It's a house of our psyche. It can deal with trauma as well, past traumas as well, and healing from those traumas. So Venus here will help you feel emotionally secure. Along with Sun, it encourages deep trust and emotional honesty where relationship matters are concerned, Libras. Now, on the 24th of April, Venus enters Gemini, which is your ninth house. Now, here there is a love of travel or learning or philosophies, culture, or just worldview, So you may be engaging or being very socially active and, communicating with people or connecting with people who are different from your background, from a different culture. Maybe you're traveling abroad and you're meeting people abroad. So they can be some sort of, mental or physical exploration in terms of traveling and all, definitely indicated with Venus entering your ninth house. And there's a love for these things as well. You appreciate these things as well during this time. Definitely there's an interest in sharing ideas, communicating ideas as well. Now, on the 25th of April, Uranus enters Gemini. Now, this is a 7-year transit, so it's a really long transit, and it's going to activate your ninth house. Now, Uranus in the sign of Gemini, in your ninth house, is all about exploration, higher learning, and, connecting with different experiences and all that. Now, since it's a long-term transit and Uranus brings that unexpectedness, it brings that unconventional, unique, rebellious energy. So ninth house, which is also about your belief system, this can really bring a complete change to your worldview, your philosophy. It can bring complete change to your viewpoint, your perception, as a result of, interacting with people whom you haven't connected before, or, from different background, different walks of life, different viewpoint, philosophies, belief system, and all that. So definitely with Uranus here, travel is indicated, interest in, renewing your belief system or breaking free from old belief systems are all indicated. And you may also feel inspired to, do things in unexpected way, unconventional way, just something you haven't experienced before, Libra. So definitely next 7 years is going to be a lot about breaking free from an old version of yourself where your belief systems are concerned, your philosophy and viewpoint are concerned, and stepping into something entirely new, entirely unconventional. So overall, Libras, the month of April 2026 is a month of personal clarity. It's a month where relationships are in focus, and this is the time you truly discover yourself and truly connect with relationship or partnership that is aligned with your future, Libras. Thank you. Hello, Scorpios. Welcome to your April 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now, Scorpios, in the month of April 2026, there's a focus on your health, on your work matters, on your routines, on your daily life, on your relationships, and all that. You feel motivated this month to improve your lifestyle, to improve productivity, and to really engage with other parts of your life. So this month you're definitely making these long-term changes, these long-term shifts, especially where your deep emotional connections are concerned, relationship matters are concerned, and all that. So the month of April begins with Venus energy in the sign of Taurus. Now Venus enters Taurus on the 30th of March, but the first 24 days of the month of April, Venus is in the sign of Taurus, which is your seventh house. Now, seventh house is the house of relationship, partnership, commitments, contracts, social interactions, and all that. Venus in seventh house is very much at home because the seventh house is naturally ruled by Libra, which is ruled by Venus. So Venus is definitely at home in the seventh house and in the sign of Taurus, which is also ruled by Venus. It's all very harmonious energy. So here you will experience a relationship or interactions or partnership that are very stabilizing and very harmonious. So you will experience deeper connections during this time. Now, this is also commitment energy. So you could be committing to somebody, proposing somebody, or redefining a relationship, or really taking a relationship to the next level. With Venus here in the sign of Taurus, which is a earth sign, fixed earth sign, there's a lot of stability in relationship. You're seeking solid partnership and deeper bonds. And definitely, Scorpios, fairness and loyalty matters to you. Now, on the 1st of April, there's a full moon in the sign of Libra in your 12th house. Now, full moon is a time of culmination, it's a time of endings, it's also the time of clarity, awareness, understanding, and release and all that. Now, 12th house is the house of subconscious, the unconscious. It's a house of healing, it's a house of closure, it's a house of solitude, retreat, it's also the house of self-undoing or self-sabotage. So, with full moon occurring in your 12th house, this is a good opportunity to release any emotional baggage, to let go of matters that's holding you back, especially within you. Psychological factors, past traumas, guilt, shame, fear, hidden struggles. This is a good time to heal and let it go. Now, obviously, you may need some sort of support during this time, therapy if you need that. It's good to seek those support as well. So, with this full moon energy, there may be hidden feelings coming to the surface during this time as well. And you may also realize habits and situations that you need to release and the ones that are not good for you going forward. So, definitely, it's a very powerful time for healing and for self reflection as well. Now, Scorpios, on the 9th of April, Mars enters Aries, and that's your sixth house. So, sixth house matters are in focus. Most of the month of April, there's a lot of Aries energy because Sun is in the sign of Aries as well. So, there's a lot of focus on your work matters, on your health matters, your daily routine, your schedule, your work environment, your colleagues, your working conditions, and all that. So, with Mars entering Aries, there will be increased motivation to work harder during this time. There's a desire to improve your working condition or job prospects and all that, or just daily habits, health matters, diet, fitness, and all that. Here you will have the desire to take initiative in the workplace as well. Now, Mars also brings conflicts and confrontation. So just be mindful of this in workplace as well. This can bring conflict or confrontation with your colleagues or people you work with, or just in your daily life, daily environment. There can be some sort of conflict as well with this Mars in Aries energy, because Mars is very fiery and Aries is also very fiery. So even though it brings a lot of productivity, a desire to perform better and all that, but it can also bring conflicts and confrontation. So just be mindful of that. Now, Mercury enters Aries in your sixth house on the 14th of April. So now Mars is already in your sixth house. Mercury joining there brings this energy of verbal conflict as well. So Mars and Mercury together in your sixth house can mean lots of verbal confrontation, conflicts, and all that. So just be mindful of this energy. Your work environment can be very fast paced during this time, and there can be a lot of bluntness in communication with co-workers. Now your productivity definitely will spike, but there can be stressful situation as well due to some sort of conflict or overthinking where your work or daily life are concerned. So just be mindful of this energy, Scorpios. Now, on the 17th of April, there's a new moon in the sign of Aries. Now, new moon is all about new beginning and, fresh start, setting new intentions and all that. Now, again, it's all happening in the sixth house. Now, sixth house, as I mentioned, is the house of your work, your health, your daily life, work environment, and all that. So here, you could be starting a new health routine, or you could be starting a new job or a new project during this time, or you will be very enthusiastic about applying for new jobs or improving your working condition or job prospects and all that. So definitely you could be organizing or scheduling more efficiently during this time. Your productivity definitely improves, and you may be really stepping into a new lifestyle pattern as well going forward, Scorpios. Now, on the 20th of April, Sun enters Taurus, which is your seventh house. Again, the house of partnership and relationship becomes active. So here there's a strong focus on business partnership, romantic partnership, relationship, social interactions, and all that. So you may meet someone important during this time, somebody significant during this time. This can mean you, again, deepening a relationship, committing to somebody. Seventh house energy is also about finding harmony and balance in partnership, existing partnership, or redefining partnership as well. So definitely you are seeking relationship that feel more stable and grounded going forward. Now, Scorpios, on the 24th of April, Venus enters Gemini. That's your eighth house. Now, eighth house is the house of transformation. It's the house of shared resources and shared values, intimacy, deeper connections, and all that. So, Venus entering your eighth house, there's a curiosity about deep emotional subjects or connections and all that. You may be engaging in intense conversations regarding relationship or with a partner during this time. And this can be around financial matters, resources as well, or getting into a connection due to finances as well. So definitely there's an interest in financial discussion during this time with a partner, and you could be getting emotionally involved as well during this time, deepening your connections and all that. Now, on the 25th of April, Uranus enters Gemini in your eighth house. Now, this is a very long-term transit. It's a 7-year transit. So for the next 7 years, Uranus is activating your eighth house of shared resources, of shared finances, your shared values, intimacy, deep connection, transformation, and all that. Now, here there can be unexpected changes to your financial matters, your shared assets, your resources, shared resources, and all that. So just be mindful, because here Uranus can bring this sudden change. Now, it can also bring liberation, but it can also bring disruption and erratic energy, sudden upheavals as well, where your finances are concerned. And this energy is for the next 7 years. So just be extra careful around your finances. Budgeting, saving is a good idea. Really keeping an eye on your finances, basically. Also, you will be breaking free from unhealthy bonds, unhealthy financial entanglement or emotional entanglement, and this will empower you and transform you going forward. So overall, Scorpios, The month of April 2026 is all about healing from the past and building a stronger, more stable relationship and routine and work habits and work environment as well. Now, if it means releasing the old and stepping into new, whether it's relationship, whether it's job, whether it's health, whether it's your finances, whatever that might be, this is a good time to take that step. So this one definitely helps you release these hidden struggles, emotional burdens and all that, and you move forward with more clarity and more strength, Scorpios. Thank you. Hello Sagittarius, welcome to your April 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now Sagittarius, the month of April is a very high energy month for you. There's a lot of activity happening in this month. There's a lot of focus on socializing, on groups, on friendship, on networking. There's also focus on your personal goals, your ambition, your natural optimism, adventure, wanting to move around, travel, expand your social circle as well, really pursue these exciting new experiences, Sagittarius. So April is definitely a fun-filled month. It's Aries season as well. So there's a lot of focus on your fifth house energy as well, which is a house of having fun. So there's a lot of action happening this month for you. Now on the 30th of March, which is the last day of the month of March, Venus enters Taurus. And the first 24 days of April, Venus will be the sign of Taurus, affecting your sixth house. Now, sixth house is the house of your work, health, your daily life, your lifestyle, what you do on a daily basis, your schedules, routines, and all that. So you will find with Venus here, your daily life more enjoyable. You will have better working relationship, better work conditions. Your health will be good as well. And Taurus energy is slow and steady energy. So whatever you build during this time will be long lasting. It's a very harmonious energy. Venus in the sixth house brings a very harmonious energy to your daily life, what you do on a daily basis. Now, on the 1st of April, there's a full moon in the sign of Libra. Now, Libra is your 11th house. So your 11th house energy is illuminated with this full moon. Now, full moon is about awareness. It's about clarity. It's about understanding. It's also about endings, culmination as a result of that clarity. So the full moon lights up your 11th house of friendship, communities, and aspirations. So this full moon will bring some sort of realization around your friendship group, your social circle, your support system, and all that. And this realization can lead to some sort of growth as well. Now, you may be making some sort of important decisions around group projects, collaborative efforts, long-term goals, and all that. Also, there will be a lot of social clarity and emotional insight as well around your social circle, around your hopes and wishes, your aspiration, your future vision, and all that. So there would be some sort of clarity around your friendship circle, your social circle, your network, and all that. This is a good time to evaluate your circle as well and connect with like-minded people, Sagittarius. Now, on the 9th of April, Mars enters Aries, which is your fifth house. Now, Mars is at home in Aries because Aries is ruled by Mars. So it's a very positive energy. Now, fifth house is the house of creativity, of self-expression, of passion and passion projects. It's the house of romance, dating. It's the house of children, pregnancy, childbirth, all that. So with Mars entering fifth house, all these energies will be activated. There's a lot of excitement built up with this Mars energy. So you are definitely chasing excitement during this time. You want fun times. You want to enjoy life. You don't want any drama during this time. Now, Mars in the fifth house also can bring intense attraction towards somebody because it is the house of dating and romance and affection and all that. So here your dating life will be very active. There can be also competitive energy around, romance or dating or your creative expression and all that. So there can be a risk-taking element as well. You're very competitive and also very impulsive and reactive, where romance and dating and self-expression is concerned. So just be mindful of that impulsiveness. Now, on the 14th of April, Mercury enters Aries as well, which is again your fifth house. So Mars is already there. Now Mercury joins it. So here with Mercury in the sign of Aries, which is Mars ruled, your speech will be full of passion. So you have passionate speech. You speak in a very playful manner, very open, very bold, very enthusiastic. And Mars is adding to that energy. So Mars, Mercury together in the fifth house can really lead to bold romantic confessions. Your creative ideas are flowing, in fact, bursting with this Mars energy, with this Mars and Mercury energy here, and you are probably expressing as well, openly and boldly as well. So definitely there can be some sort of dramatic conversation as well around either your creative expression or romance or dating or with your children and all that. Definitely, this is a very positive energy because Mars in Aries is at home, and along with Mercury, it brings that enthusiasm and boldness to it. Now, with Mars in the fifth house, there's also a surge of energy to pursue creative projects and hobbies. You are very motivated and very inspired, by your personal expression, by your passion, and all that. So, definitely, you will have a natural confidence to attract opportunity and admiration as well, Sagittarius. Now, on the 17th of April, there's a new moon in the sign of Aries, which again activates your fifth house. Now, new moon is a time of setting new intentions, sowing new seeds. It's a time of new beginnings, new starts. So, in the fifth house, it encourages new beginnings in creativity and personal expression. This is a great time to launch personal projects, passion projects, or even start some sort of creative or romantic venture as well. This is a great time to align fun factor and ambition together to any sort of long-term goals or plans that you may have. So new moon here is definitely all about connecting your passion with your goals and have a new start in these matters. Now on the 20th of April, Sun enters Taurus and the Taurus season begins. So, Sun entering Taurus, which is activating your sixth house of work, routines, and daily life, your productivity, and all that. So, here you're seeking stability in your work life, in your daily life, basically. So, the focus is on building steady daily habits, maybe health habits as well, workout plan, and all that as well. And you want to improve your work environment as well, or there will be improvement in your work environment. So you're preparing for long-term professional stability going forward. Now, as the sun shifts from Aries to Taurus, you're more focused on practical results than just adventurous energy. Now, on the 24th of April, Venus enters Gemini. Now, Gemini is your seventh house, Sagittarius, which is your opposite sign. So, Venus here brings focus on partnership. Now, partnership becomes more communicative and lively during this time because Gemini energy is about socializing and communicating. So, here you may meet someone through networking or through social setting or through friends, or just maybe you are going out and about and you meet somebody. This is also a good time to express yourself where relationship is concerned. And also through talks, you can resolve matters as well because Venus brings that harmonious energy. So if there are any, conflicts, in the past, Venus here can bring that harmonious energy, that easygoing energy to resolve conflicts as well. So this is a great time for agreements and collaborations and commitments, or just being on the same page, basically. Now on the 25th of April, Uranus enters Gemini. Now this is a massive transit. This is one of the most important transits of 2026 because Uranus is re-entering Gemini. It was in Gemini in 2025 for a few months, but now it's re-entering Gemini in your seventh house for the next 7 years. Now, Uranus is a very electrifying energy. It brings sudden changes. It can also be very disruptive, very erratic, very unconventional energy. So here it's affecting your partnership and relationship. So here there can be a long-term effect on your relationship matters. There can be sudden and unconventional shift in your relationship matters. Your relationship can transform as well. over the next 7 years. So there's a need to, adopt new approaches to balancing your needs with other people's expectations, because seventh house is the house of, relationship. It's about you and others. So here you're redefining your personal growth with those of others. So definitely with the seventh house Uranus, you will definitely experience lots of disruptive, sudden, but also freeing changes. If you were feeling stuck in a relationship, Uranus here can bring that change, can bring that shift, can bring that transformation. It can bring a breakup or even a breakthrough in a relationship. So definitely over the next 7 years, the relationship will be very transformative. Now, so Sagittarius, overall, April 2026 is all about balancing social connections with your self-expression, balancing partnerships and long-term goals and all that. And this is a great time to, venture out in terms of friendship and creative projects and all that as well. And really embrace new exciting experiences, which can lead you on new direction, new paths, and unexpected new opportunities going forward, Sagittarius. Thank you. Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your April 2026 astrology reading. Now, Capricorn, the month of April is a very dynamic month for you because there are lots of shift in your career, in your home matters, your creativity, your just daily life. There's a lot of shifts occurring in this month. There can be some sort of tense energy around your personal life, your private life, and your professional life as well. Now, these changes can bring, improved routine, can actually bring more productivity going forward, and will help you stabilize yourself going forward as well with your personal expression, your goals, your future plans and all that, Capricorns. So the month of April begins with the energy of Venus in the sign of Taurus. Now, Venus moves in the sign of Taurus on 30th of March, but the first 24 days of the month of April, Venus is in the sign of Taurus, which is your fifth house. Now, fifth house is the house of self-expression, creative expression, is the house of romance, dating, fun times, your children, pregnancy, all that. So Venus entering fifth house will bring a lot of creativity, a lot of self-expression. It's a very joyful time, fun time, lots of creative expressions are flowing, all those creative juices are flowing. You are expressing yourself in a harmonious manner. You are connecting with your children as well. If you are dating, this is a great time to date as well, Capricorn. This can bring some sort of stability going forward. Venus in the fifth house is quite a positive energy. Now, on the 1st of April, there's a full moon in the sign of Libra. Full moon in Libra, which is affecting your 10th house. Now, 10th house is the house of professional matter. It's the house of your career, your public life, and all that. And full moon is all about clarity. It's about culmination, endings, understanding, or something coming to a fruition. So here with full moon activating your 10th house of career, reputation, and your life goals, there can be some sort of career recognition or some important decision will be made. This can also be a milestone or achievement around your career matters. You may be balancing your professional ambition with personal needs as well, because in the Aries season your fourth house is activated, so there's a balance with the fourth house and 10th house energy. So with this full moon in your 10th house, there's going to be some sort of career clarity. Definitely this is a pivotal time for you, and you will make some progress, definitely, and this will be very visible progress, very tangible progress, and it will set you on that long-term career path as well, Capricorn. Now, on the 9th of April, Mars enters Aries, which is your fourth house, which is all about your home matters, your family matters, your inner world, your private life, your emotions, and all that. So with Mars entering your fourth house of your foundation, there's a lot of activity around your home matters. There's increased activity, lots of movement. You could be moving out, you could be relocating, you could be renovating, you could be reorganizing, doing DIY in your living space. Your living situation there's a lot of energy here. Now, Mars in the fourth house can also bring a lot of energy around real estate as well, your address and all that. So there's a desire to have a solid foundation, and you will be taking these bold and assertive actions as well towards these energies. So there's a lot of emotional intensity and assertiveness in family matters. This energy can push you to strengthen your private foundation as well. So this is quite a good energy, Mars in the fourth house and in the sign of Aries, which is its home sign. Now, on the 14th of April, Mercury joins Mars in Aries. So Mercury also enters your fourth house in the sign of Aries. So here, Mercury can also lead to some sort of contract signing. You could be signing some contract around housing or whatever that might be. Here your speech is also quite bold around family matters, family conversations and all that. You want to just say whatever has been left unsaid, you want to express that during this time. And it can be very intense as well, because Aries energy is very self-oriented energy. So you're very straightforward in your speech. Your decisions are very quick and can be impulsive as well with this Aries energy. There can be a lot of mental restlessness as well at home as well, because there's so much happening around your home and private life, your foundation and all that. Now, on the 17th of April, there's a new moon in the sign of Aries. So again, your fourth house is in focus. With the new moon in the fourth house, this is a perfect moment for new beginnings at home. So this is again great time when you could be moving or doing home improvement, starting a home project, or just establishing routines for family life or personal life, or just really laying the foundation during this time for long-term security. So definitely here, with all this energy in your fourth house, this is a reset time for your domestic and emotional environment, Capricorn. So it's quite exciting time. Now, on the 20th of April, Sun enters the sign of Taurus, which activates your fifth house of creativity, romance, hobbies, children, and all that. So you will feel very inspired by, passion projects, creative projects, self-expression, by your children, by, having fun, basically. This is a great time to, really connect with your inner creative self as well. You will definitely have desire for fun, romance, just playful experiences. You are definitely very motivated to express yourself in ways that bring joy, because fifth house is the house of joyful fulfillment, personal joy. So again, this is a period of when you are balancing your goals with personal fulfillment. Now, on the 24th of April, Venus enters Gemini, which is your sixth house, Capricorn. Now, sixth house is a house of work, health, your daily routine and all that. So Venus here brings a lot of harmonious energy to your daily life. You will find some sort of balance where your daily routines, your work life are concerned. The work environment can be very friendly as well. The atmosphere is very positive, very harmonious, very balanced. You could be very likable in work environment as well, or just the work environment, work condition, and colleagues are very, balanced or harmonious. The experience is very positive, basically. So definitely this is a great time to enjoy these small pleasures of everyday life. And Venus in the sixth house does bring these small pleasures of daily life. Now, on the 25th of April, Uranus enters Gemini. This is a 7-year transit. It's a very long transit, and it all begins in April 2026. Now, Uranus did enter Gemini in 2025 for a few months, but it's re-entering Uranus, and it will stay in Gemini in your sixth house for the next 7 years. Sixth house, as I mentioned, is the house of your work, health, your daily habits, your productivity, your lifestyle, just what you do on a daily basis. So Uranus here is going to bring this sudden change. There may be a sudden change in job or work environment, or there can be sudden change in your daily routine or your health as well. So here you are very much interested in bringing some sort of, unconventional energy where you're routine is concerned. You are interested in taking these new approaches to your health matters, your diet, your fitness, and all that. There can be unexpected shifts in employment as well. And you could be, as I mentioned, there could be a job change, or you could be leaving an old job and signing up for a new job. So next 7 years, Capricorn, your work matters. There will be a lot of shift, a lot of activity, a lot of innovation in your daily life, your work, your productivity, your health, and all that. So daily life will definitely transform over the next 7 years, and it all begins in April 2026. So you will find ways to increase your efficiency, which will lead to freedom as well, because Uranus brings this sense of freedom. So overall, Capricorns, the month of April 2026 is all about balancing your career ambition with home stability, with creative expression, and just making daily life more practical, more stable going forward. So definitely you're taking bold actions around your home life, and also your public image, your career, your work is moving towards long-term growth, Capricorns. Thank you. Hello Aquarius, welcome to your April 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now Aquarius, the month of April 2026 is a month of learning. It's a month of communication, connection, networking, your personal creativity, your self-expression. It's the month where you're shifting your mind, you're expanding your mind, you're connecting with others. Your home life is all changing and shifting and all that. There will be long-term shifts as well, breakthroughs and surprises and unexpected changes starting April 2026. Now, the month of April begins with Venus in the sign of Taurus. Now, Venus enters Taurus on the 30th of March, but the first 24 days of the month of April, Venus is in the sign of Taurus, which is your fourth house. That's your foundation, your home, your family matters, and all that. Now, Venus brings very harmonious energy to these areas. So, this is a time when you're very much focused on home life, family life. You want harmony at home. Your home life improves as well. This is also the time of emotional grounding and stability and safety and security and all that. So Venus energy brings that, likability, or that desire to appreciate your foundation or your home life and family, and also very harmonious relationship with people you live with, Aquarius. Now, on the 1st of April, there is a full moon in the sign of Libra. Now, Libra is your ninth house, Aquarius. So, full moon will illuminate your ninth house of higher learning, of travel, philosophy, your belief system, your viewpoint, worldview, and all that. So, full moon is all about illumination, clarity, understanding. It's about endings, culmination, and all that as well. So here, the full moon in the ninth house is going to bring some sort of important realizations about your beliefs, the desire to learn or higher learning. You may be completing a course during this time, or you may be kind of gaining clarity or, understanding in what you want to do going forward. So there's going to be a lot of clarity around your mindset as well, your viewpoint as well. So this is a time to expand your mind and explore new horizons. So you may be traveling as well. This is a great time to travel and explore. Now, on the 9th of April, Mars enters Aries. Now, Aries is your third house, which is a house of communication and connection. So, Mars in the sign of Aries is in its home sign. So, the energy is very synced. So, in the third house, so it will energize your third house of communication, of connection, of your daily interactions, of relatives and siblings and all that. So here you may notice there's an increased energy around conversations and communication and networking and all that. And learning as well. Third house is also the house of learning or skills development and all that. So there may be increased focus on these areas as well. There's a desire to take action as well, and you may be connecting with your neighbors and your relatives and siblings and all that as well during this time. Now, Mars here in the third house can also bring heated conversation, fiery conversation, passionate conversation. There can be possible arguments and debates as well. So you will definitely assert your voice during this time. So you will definitely say what you need to say during this time, because your speech is very sharp during this time. Your mind is sharp, your words are sharp, and you're very persuasive and bold as well with your speech, the way you communicate and all that. Now, Aquarius, on the 14th of April, Mercury enters Aries, again highlighting your third house of communication connection. So Mars is already there, which is already giving you very bold way of speaking. Your speech can also be very direct and blunt and all that with the third house Mars energy. Now, Mercury joining in Aries in third house, your words will be very fast and very bold. You may also speak without thinking as well, so you need to be mindful of that. There can be a lot of mental activity during this time. There can be arguments, debates. You are very fearless in your communication with this Mars, Mercury, both in the third house. So there can be tension as well around the way you speak, around the way you communicate. Now, decision making will also be fast, and there can be a lot of mental restlessness as well with Mercury in the third house and Mars as well. So both the energies plus Aries energy plus third house energy, all that really can make your speech very blunt, very argumentative, very direct. So just be mindful of these energies. Now, on the 17th of April, there's a new moon in the sign of Aries. Again, your third house energy is in focus. So with the new moon in Aries, there's an opportunity for new beginnings where learning is concerned, communication, all that is concerned. So here you could be learning something new, or, writing maybe, or sharing ideas, or studying something. This is also a great time to launch small initiatives in your community and all that. You could be making plans as well during this time, because third house is also the house of trips. Now, Mars and Mercury is in your third house, so you could be traveling as well in terms of short trips, just around your city and all that. Now, on the 20th of April, Sun enters Taurus in your fourth house. Again, your home and family matters is in focus with Sun there. Now, so the focus is on family relationship and domestic comfort during this time. There's a desire to improve your living space during this time as well. Or there's a lot of focus, just general focus on foundation, on family, on your living situation, people you live with. There's emotional grounding and reflection needed as well around these matters. So overall, it's a good time to establish your stability, your sense of stability, sense of security around your home matters, Aquarius. Now, on the 24th of April, Venus enters Gemini, which is your fifth house. Now, fifth house is the house of self-expression, creative expression. It's the house of romance, dating, children, good times, playful times, and all that. So with Venus here, Venus here brings in this harmonious energy and very romantic energy to this placement. So here you may be feeling like dating, or you are very playful. You may be very inspired for some sort of creative project or passion projects as well. Or you could just be socializing, networking in a joyful manner, and also connecting with your children if you have any. So definitely it's a great time to engage in fun activities. Now, Aquarius, on the 25th of April, Uranus enters Gemini in your fifth house. Now, this is a very long-term transit. It's a 7-year transit, all focused on your fifth house energy. So Uranus entering Gemini in your fifth house of creativity, romance, and self-expression will bring long-term changes. Now, Uranus brings sudden changes. It can bring breakthroughs and breakdowns as well. So here there can be sudden inspiration around a passion project, or there can be creative breakthroughs during these 7 years. And also there could be unexpected romantic connections as well. Or you may be engaging in new hobbies, something you haven't done before, unconventional ones. This is also a great time to express yourself, creative expression as well, and find unique ways to do that. So for the next 7 years, starting in April 2026, Uranus in your fifth house is going to bring a sense of freedom, a desire to experiment with your passions, your creativity, your self-expression, and all that. So, Aquarius, overall, the month of April 2026 is all about expanding your mind, communicating, learning, also grounding your home life, your domestic life, also, and embracing these creative expression, freeing yourself, be more bold in your communication and expression and sharing ideas and sharing thoughts and all that. So definitely April is all about learning, communicating, creating, connecting, all that. And there will be a lot of surprises as well in the month of April, Aquarius. Thank you. Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your April 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now, Pisces, the month of April 2026 is a month of financial awareness. It's a month of emotional transformation and mental clarity. The focus is on money, on shared resources, on communication, on home life. There's going to be long-term shift and unexpected changes in the month of April 2026 around these matters. So the month of April begins with Venus in the sign of Taurus. Now, Venus enters Taurus on the 30th of March, but the first 24 days of the month of April, Venus is in the sign of Taurus, which is your third house. Now, third house is a house of communications, a house of connections, a house of your daily interaction and all that. So Venus here will bring harmony in communication, smooth communication, networking, connecting with other people and all that. In your environment as well, your daily interactions, people you interact with on a daily basis. This could be your neighbor, this could be your siblings, your relatives, whatever that might be. There will be harmonious communication and ideas sharing during this time. Now, Pisces, on the 1st of April, there's a full moon in the sign of Libra. Now, Libra is your eighth house. Now, eighth house is a house of transformation. It's a house of regeneration. It's also the house of shared resources, shared values, investments. It's a house of debt as well. So here with the full moon lighting up your eighth house, there is going to be some sort of shift or clarity or ending or culmination or understanding around these matters, around shared resources, around shared values and all that. So here you will gain clarity regarding joint finances, regarding loans, regarding debt, regarding inheritance, investment, whatever that might be. There will be some sort of clarity, understanding, release, culmination around these matters. Now, there can be emotional breakthrough as well because 8th house is a water house. There can be some sort of emotional breakthrough as well where these matters are concerned, the 8th house energy is concerned. So you could be letting go of limiting habits or emotional patterns or financial entanglements or emotional entanglements. This is a time to release what no longer, is empowering you and no longer is serving you, especially where finances are concerned. Now, on the 9th of April, Mars enters Aries, which is your second house. Now, Mars is at home in Aries because it's its home sign. Now, second house is a house of personal finance and self-worth. Eighth house is a house of shared finance. Second house is a house of personal finance, and Mars is entering your second house. So Mars in the second house of income, possessions, personal value, how you sustain yourself, your self-worth, your worthiness, how you see yourself, how you value yourself and all that. Mars here will really motivate you to take care of your finances, your savings, your investments, your possessions, personal value, and also your sense of self-worth as well. You're very bold about these during this time. You are seeking financial independence as well. So there can be new ideas as well or new projects around these matters. Now, Pisces, Saturn is in your second house as well and will be there for the next 2 years. So there can be lessons around finances as well. Now, Mars here joining with Saturn can give a pull and push kind of energy. There can be self-doubt as well around finances. So This is a good time to understand your desires and assert your personal value, because Mars here will definitely boost these financial initiative and self-confidence as well. Now, on the 14th of April, Mercury enters Aries in your second house. So Mars is already activating your second house. Now Mercury enters here. So Mars is already bringing this bold energy to your financial matters. Just be cautious of reckless spending, impulsive purchases, and all that. Now, Mercury joining Mars in the second house can make you talk about money very boldly. You're very talkative, very communicative around your financial situations. You want to avoid any sudden moves or impulsive moves during this time, because Mars together with Mercury in your second house can lead to quick decisions around money matters. You may speak up about your value, about your finances as well during this time. There can be a lot of impulsive spending. There can be power struggle around finances. There can be a lot of conversation heating up around money matters in the month of April. So just be cautious of this energy. Mars here does bring a lot of boldness, a lot of initiative, but can also bring a lot of impulsivity, recklessness, and quick decision that has not been thought over. Now, on the 17th of April, there's a new moon in the sign of Aries in your second house. So this means new beginnings, new energy, or setting new intention, or seeing things in a new perspective around your financial matters again. So here you could be strategizing a new financial plan or building security. So you could be changing job or getting a better paying job. So here there can be some sort of shift in your income, how you make your money. There can be new source of income. You may be reevaluating how you're earning, you're spending as well. So here definitely you're seeking stability and long-term financial growth. So these are the areas you can expect some sort of new beginnings. Now, on the 20th of April, Sun enters Taurus in your third house of communication, of learning, and short-term trips. So here your thinking will be a lot clearer with this third house Sun energy, and you will be able to plan as well better around your daily life, your daily interactions, how you communicate, how you network, connecting with your, just your network, people around you. So definitely communication is the focus here, and lots of communication can occur with neighbors, relatives, siblings, people in your environment and all that. Now, third house is also the house of learning. So you may be interested in new skills development, expanding your knowledge, learning something new, growing, mentally growing, and just practical matters and all that. On the 24th of April, Venus enters Gemini, which is your fourth house. The fourth house is a house of your home, your family, your roots, your foundation, your private life, your emotional world, and all that. So Venus in your fourth house is all about appreciating your home life, your domestic life, and all that. You could be redecorating your home, refreshing your home, hosting friends, some sort of positive, harmonious, pleasing energy around your sense of self, your sense of security, your foundation, and people in your domestic environment and all that. So definitely there's some sort of positive energy around these matters. Now, on the 25th of April, Uranus enters Gemini, again in your fourth house. Now, this is a very long-term transit, Pisces. It's a 7-year transit. So this energy will activate your home matters, your family matters, your foundation, and all that. Now, Uranus is a very electrifying energy. It's about sudden changes. It's very unconventional. It seeks uniqueness. It seeks freedom. It seeks emotional detachment. Uranus is not emotional energy. Now, in your fourth house, there can be unexpected changes in your living situation. There can be a sudden shift, sudden relocation. You could be moving house. You could also be moving city, countries. People do move around a lot when Uranus enters the fourth house, and this can be very sudden as well. It may not be planned. Now, it is a 7-year transit, so this can happen several times in 7 years as well, or it can just happen once and you relocate. Now, It is also the house of your domestic life, your family matters, your roots and all that. So again, there can be a lot of shift around your family dynamics. You're seeking personal freedom at home. Uranus here can make you emotionally detached as well. And this is a 7-year transit. So this can come and go over the next 7 years because you're seeking personal freedom. Now, Uranus here can bring instability as well or disruption at home because you're breaking free from old patterns and creating a new sense of emotional security going forward. So overall, Pisces, in the month of April 2026, you're seeking financial empowerment, emotional transformation, mental clarity around long-term changes around your home matters, family matters, domestic, your emotional foundation and all that. And April will definitely encourage you to take control of your finances, your resources, and communicate more effectively, more clearly, more openly during this time. And you also are seeking freedom at home, freedom in your foundation, your emotional world, your living situation, and all that. And there can be a lot of changes. So there will be several opportunities to embrace these breakthroughs, Pisces. Thank you.